LiberalViewer present.
So even though Van Jones, the special advisor for green jobs at the White House Council on Environmental Quality, resigned last Saturday, this morning Fox News was still giving extensive coverage to the story, including the doubly biased distortion of the facts you can see from Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly in this clip.
He signed on to a document known as the 9/11 Truther petition, meaning he believes that President Bush and the administration then were behind the attacks on this country on 9/11.
Now, that's doubly wrong, both in terms of what Van Jones signed and what he says he believes. First, because if you read the actual statement Van Jones signed at whattoknow.info/9/11 statement, you'll see it does not even claim President Bush was behind the attacks on 9/11, but rather refers to, quote, unanswered questions that suggest that people within the current administration may indeed have deliberately allowed 9/11 to happen. And I can understand why Fox News wouldn't want to tell its viewers that the statement was really about allowing 9/11 to happen, because that might remind too many people of evidence like the memo Bush got the month before 9/11 that was titled, quote, Bin Laden determined to strike in U.S., unquote. Of course, I don't believe saying 9/11 was deliberately allowed is justified, but of course neither does Van Jones, because despite Megyn Kelly's claim in that last clip, Van Jones said back on September 4th regarding the 9/11 petition, quote, I do not agree with this statement and it certainly does not reflect my views now or ever. But instead of quoting that statement to her viewers, Megyn Kelly goes on to try to just increase the smear by putting it on other Democrats as well, using clip selection that leaves out another two important facts that I'll explain after you watch it here.
Some Democrats, like former Democratic National Committee Chair Howard Dean, are still defending this guy.
Yale-educated lawyer. He's a best-selling author about his specialty. I think he was brought down. I think it's too bad. Washington's a tough place that way, and I think it's a loss for the country.
Really?
Now, the selection of that clip from Howard Dean's appearance on Fox News Sunday the day before was again doubly dishonest because first, it failed to show the introductory information from Dean explaining his support of Van Jones is based on personal knowledge here.
I know this guy, and I just talked to him about this, so I'd like to weigh in.
And then Fox News left out the part of Dean's statement specifically addressing the 9/11 petition that you can see here.
Well, he was told by the people waving those clipboards around that he was signing something else. I think that's too bad. Look, all of us campaigning for office have had people throw clipboards in front of our face and ask us to sign, and he learned the hard way. You ought not to do that. But I don't think he really thinks the government has anything to do with causing 9/11.
Now, if Fox News had showed that clip, it might have left their viewers better informed about what Van Jones really believes, but of course less angry at Democrats and President Obama, which was the point, I think, which is why I'm adding this video to the more than 80 other examples you can see on my Fox News Bias playlist at tinyurl.com/FoxNewsBias. But I want to know what you think. Why do you think that in the space of about a minute there, Fox News misreported the content of the statement Van Jones signed, what Van Jones says he believes, and the nature and specifics of Howard Dean's defense of Van Jones? And given that I'm emailing this video to Fox News, as I have with so many others revealing their errors, do you think Fox News will issue an on-air correction of the factual errors I just showed they broadcast?
YouTube, you decide.